Hi, I'm Carmen Maria Rey, and I'm the Deputy Director of our Immigration Intervention Project. DACA is Deferred Action for Childhood Entrance. It was a program that was created by the Obama administration in 2012 to provide some measure of stability for over 1 million children at that point. That estimated numbers were over 1 million who had been brought to the United States by their parents when they were minors. So because Congress had never worked to fix the immigration law to create some kind of protection for these children, the Obama administration stepped in and created DACA, which gave them work authorization if they could establish that they had in fact been brought here as minors, that they were either gainfully employed or had a GED, or were in school or enrolled in the Army or had some kind of degree, that they were basically good people. Right now, about 800,000 people across the United States benefited from DACA, and about 120 sanctuary clients have had DACA for years now. It's been about 5 years. So of the 120 plus clients that we have who currently have DACA, many of them are the children of our clients who for one reason or another can't derive status from their parents. And some of them are direct victims of gender-based violence who, because immigration law is so complex and so unfair, are not able to meet the requirements for the limited forms of immigration relief that are generally available to survivors of gender violence. So DACA is interesting because we don't choose it as a form of relief for our clients unless there's really nothing else available to them. So we work, as we all know, with survivors of gender-based violence. And there are a number of specific forms of immigration relief that are available to those clients if they meet the parameters of those forms of immigration relief. But not everyone can, even if they would otherwise qualify. So generally, we've filed over 120 applications for clients. For about half of those, we were filing the DACA application along with other types of applications for immigration relief. And for about, again, half of them, we actually were able to get them other types of immigration status that would be better for them. And the reason why those types of immigration status would be better for them is that they can't be revoked all at once, unlike DACA. And it gives them a path to citizenship, which DACA doesn't do. All that DACA did for these kids was give them work authorization and a temporary reprieve from deportation. So it just was never a good type of immigration relief for us. But there is this population of clients that we have for whom it was the only thing we could obtain. We have a client who is now actually working. She's one of the people who, on whose behalf the New York State will be suing for the end of DACA, and she's been in the United States since she was 7. She was brought here by her parents who had no idea that they were violating immigration law or had even the foresight to think about what this would mean for her in the long term. She's gone to university here. She's actually a manager of multiple coffee shops. She manages over 20 people. She has a very decent salary now, and has 2 U.S. citizen children and is engaged to a wonderful U.S. citizen. She will lose everything if and when that work permit expires through DACA, and may very well face deportation from the United States because the fact that her parents brought her into the country the way that they did means that there may very well be no other way to keep her in the country, despite the fact that she suffered some pretty severe violence when she was younger. This is not a shock to us. DACA has been on the chopping block since the inauguration. But we were hopeful that this would not, in fact, happen because it is such a heartless action. We again have about 120 clients who are affected by the repeal of DACA. About 60 of them have only DACA and no viable other forms of immigration relief. Over the coming weeks, we will be doing the following. We will be filing to get an additional work authorization through DACA for a small group of clients whose DACA is set to expire in a few months, who the administration carved out as having the possibility to renew. So we'll be filing God knows how many of those applications. We're still trying to get a handle on how many, but potentially close to 100 over the next couple of weeks. We will also be assessing all clients who don't already have another type of immigration relief application pending, who also have DACA. We'll be reassessing all of those cases to see if there is any change in their lives that may change our analysis, to see if we can potentially try to make them qualify for other types of immigration relief. We're working with the city to create clinics, large-scale clinics, to screen DACA, folks who have DACA right now, for other forms of immigration relief. And try to keep our spirits up and those of our clients, because our phones won't stop ringing with questions. I know we're all really concerned about what we can do for this population. I think there are a couple of things that we can do. For one, I think a congressional response. What's happened basically is that the administration has now put the ball in Congress's court to pass some type of legislation that would protect this population of children. I think one thing that is really, really important for all of us to do is to get out and on the streets and have our voices heard, because that will very heavily influence how the Senate and the House vote on legislation. I think it's important to call our senators, make sure that they're on the ball supporting DACA legislation. I do think it's important that if you're open to volunteer, if you speak other languages, that you look on the MOIA website, the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Affairs website. They'll have information posted about volunteer opportunities for the upcoming screenings. And lastly, it would be wonderful if you could support our work here at the Immigration Intervention